Are you having a hard time getting your model to build properly? Pieces are either falling off, parts are sagging, or it just isn't working properly. And it's as the model builds up, things just kind of get a little off. Well, today we're going to talk about supporting your model and 3 different methods to do so within Cura 4.13. We'll see you guys inside. Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm glad you're back because we are covering an important topic that affects any print that you're going to do on any type of printer. Now specifically we're going to talk about Cura supporting. So you got to add supports to your model so that it builds up properly and it doesn't just become a icky mess as it builds up, especially if you're doing like figurines or like how I do starships. Those warp nacelles can be very pesky to make sure they get to build correctly and make sure the rest is shipped, and you don't want weird sags and stuff because that just takes time to fix. So we're going to talk about 3 methods in Cura 4.13, which is the most current edition at the time of making this video, of how to support. We're going to talk about the auto-generated supports, we're going to talk about Cura tree support, and then we're going to talk about a plugin that you can get from the marketplace called custom support. So if you guys have watched the videos recently, you see I use that custom support one a lot as I go through and get models put together, especially these starship ones. So we're going to talk about all 3. I'm going to show you my settings, so hopefully it'll help and hopefully give you a better understanding of how supporting works. So, and also the custom support one, I'll show you how to go get it from the marketplace. So it's free, it's a really awesome tool. So let's get moving forward with that. We're going to hop over to the computer. We're going to get that made because you want to support your model because you just don't want a lot more work. But we also want to talk about over supporting the model, that it becomes so hard that you can't even get the support off. So I'm going to share my settings with you. So we're going to hop up to the computer. We're going to look at that. But before we do, if you're new to the channel or you're curious about any of this kind of stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button, join the crew. We're always talking about different things. We're getting back to the technical videos now. But we also talk about how to print, a lot of cool stuff that you see back on this wall and different things like that. So, and eventually I'll also do a video on supporting for SLA or resin prints as well. So make sure you stick around. If you have any questions about 3D printing, it doesn't even have to be about this topic. Comments down below, let me know, or shoot me an email. It's over there on the community page. So definitely let me know. But let's hop up to the computer and let's get this thing going. Alright, so welcome over to the computer. So we've got this over here on the computer, and we're going to basically start taking a look at what we need to do to get this to work properly. So why supports are so important is basically, if you look at this, if we didn't support any of this, the good chances this part here won't form, this part here won't form, which means it's going to become a mangled mess and just totally start messing up your print. And we want good prints. We don't want to have a failure because of something silly like that. And even the center section will not form properly. You lose the detail and it just will look like someone's grabbed it and just pulled while it was warm. We don't want to do that. So first thing we're going to talk about is the automated supports. So we're going to scroll down here and we're going to go to the support section. And right now I have mine set to normal, which is the gridded supports that it will auto-generate onto the model for you. My support infill density is very low at 15% because I want it to be easy to take off. And the other thing that you want to keep a good line on here is the air gap. I'm not seeing that. So compared to prior versions of Cura, this used to be under experimental. Now support has its own section because honestly, you need it. You're going to have it. So unless you just totally break your model apart. So first, I'm using the zigzag pattern. You can choose different patterns to do your support, as you can see here on the screen. I've got a plugin that actually tells me how it's going to look. I use the zigzag generally for myself. And that was a misclick. Let's get back down here. So air gap density is under the build plate adhesion. We'll check that out here in a minute. So basically, here are my settings that I use. And the key one for the Cura auto-generated support is the support overhang angle. The higher the percentage, the less support you get. So kind of remember, this kind of works in reverse what you would think it would work in, with it being the higher the percentage, the less support. So the lower percentage, the more it's going to support. So keep that in mind. So, and as you get up to 90%, anything above 90, no support. So kind of keep that in mind as you do the support. Now, I do the support placement of everywhere. You can also do the support placement of it only touching your build plate. Now, that can create other issues as supporting within the model, but I usually just do the everywhere. And a lot of my settings you can see here, initial layer distance and different things like that, are pretty straight and normal. And like right now I have this at 90%, there's no support. You can see there's no red where it's needing support down here. So as I move that down to 80, and I apologize, 80% is where your support, 85% is where your support will start. And now you can see this red is indicating where support is going to form. And that is a great thing for us because we want that support to form. And if I kick this down, say 50%, you're going to see that red go real red. And that's where it's going to auto-generate support to support this model, including up here for these lasers on this X-Wing that we're playing with today. Even R2-D2 would have a little support form for him. So keep that in mind. So those are the standard generated supports from Cura. You'll have to go down to there and make sure you checkmark generate support so that it will generate the supports in there for you. And it'll generate, and this takes a little while from this computer to slice, because that's part of what it's calculating. Where do I need to put all this support? And it's putting that in there right now. So when we hop to the preview, it will actually show the supports. Now the cool thing, the other form of support that used to be experimental is tree support, which is the second type of support I want to talk about today. It can be really cool. It can be really a pain. And kind of one of those things, I want to finish this one before I really jump into it. And then I'm going to talk about a plugin that called custom supports that will go out to the marketplace, and I'll show you how to get that lets me place supports on the model myself during this phase. And then I can also have the generate supports on, which will also generate supports in along with it as well, along with those custom supports. So now we've got this done. So we're going to hop over to preview, and you guys are going to be able to see where the supports actually kick into the model. Here we go. So, and as you can see here, under the wings at that 50%, it generated these support layers. Even up here on the lasers, it did. So, and you guys can see, here's the actual model, here's the support. And as I kick down, you can see the change in the pattern. This is all support right here, where you can see my mouse moving along those wings. That when it's done, you'll be able to you should be able to pull off and take on there, and you can see here it even put some support around the lasers. R2-D2, he's got a support tree going all the way down to the build plate. So one of the things that's important when working with support is figuring out how much support you actually need, because it's really easy to over support a model and honestly sometimes make the support so thick that it's a brick, and then you're sitting there with pliers and stuff, like I said earlier, just trying to pry it off, and then you wind up damaging the model or something like that. It's basically a play on this overhang angle. I always start at 80, and then I work my way down, but I also use the custom support plugin to help with the supports. So that is just the blocky way of doing it. That is the standard version for Cura to do it. But we're going to switch over, and we're going to do the same thing with a tree support. Here are my tree support settings. I do have it at a 40%. I think I need to kick that up a little bit so it's not so bad. I can't remember if that one goes up or down. But kind of the cool thing about tree support is it builds very differently, and I'm going to go ahead and slice. It builds very organically around the model. So basically it grows around the model like a tree, and then you should be able to pop it off as long as you don't have your densities too high, which my density is not very high. The diameter angle is 5. Support overhang angle is still 50. That one I should have adjusted, but that's okay. And my support density is only at 15%. I keep it very low because I want this to be able to come off, but I want it strong enough that it's not going to fall apart while it's printing, because that's the other thing that's not cool, is when a support breaks during printing. and you've either got to run in there real quick and try to tape it up or super glue it so the support will continue to grow, or you get basically filament pulled into your print in a mess, which no one wants. So just kind of showing some more of my settings here, just so you guys can see what I'm using to build this density. So, because one of the things I despise is too heavy of supports, and this tree at that 50, that support overhang angle being at 50, that's going to be that's going to hurt essentially. But the cool thing is it does look more organic. Sometimes it can use less filament, sometimes it uses more, but you've got to find the right one that fits what you're printing to make sure you're getting a print. Now if you're doing like a figurine, I would actually go with a tree support. It's going to be more organic, it's going to wrap around the figure, and it's going to be just a lot easier to take off versus something mechanical like this X-Wing. I would just use a square support normally. So we'll take a look at the preview here. And like I said, it's going to be over supported. As you guys can see, oh my goodness, it is supported. Now to me this does not look good, especially the way this is coming out. That scares me, but you definitely see why they call it a tree support. It looks like a tree growing up out of the model to help make that grow, to help make the model build. Let's do this. I'm going to kick that back up to 80, and we're going to reslice it again. It's going to take a few moments to do this, but you can see the organic look that it has, and it's building up from one spot instead of being all over the build plate and being straight up and down. It does have a very much organic angled growth to it, which can be very useful, especially like I said, for figurines. It's one of those things you got to find the right one that fits what you're doing. And once this slices here, hopefully it'll be a bit cleaner and we can actually kind of see more of the tree effect. And it does build kind of like a hollow tube. And it works really well, especially if you're doing trying to do like a miniature or something like that on an FDM printer. It works really well. Now mind you guys, this is for FDM printers, this is for filament, this is not for SLA. I'll do a separate video probably in a few weeks in regard to SLA printing, because generating supports depending on what program you're using is fairly easy, and this video is strictly for Cura. If you're using some of the other ones like Prusa Slicer and stuff, a lot of the way it's done is the same, and the settings can be very valid for you, but there are different types of, each program kind of has its own flair on support. So I'm trying to think of the name of the program that I'm trying to use that is a bigger software, and I can't think of its name. So, and it's definitely almost there, and now it's got to generate the preview, process the layers. This should only take a little bit, and there you go. So you can see a lot less support, a lot less buildup, but you can see definitely the tree growing out to hold those attack S-Bas in position and also help build the foils there. So you can see it's growing out of the wing up into the model, and it's one of those things, this can be very helpful, especially with very curvy and angled items. So that's the second one. The third one, so let's go back to prepare. I'm going to switch back to normal, and I'm going to up that angle. I'm going to leave it at 80 so we can see that there's some in here, but I'm worried about these attack S-Bas. So you can see over here, if I click on the model, I have this button right here called Custom Supports. You can go into your marketplace, and this will take a moment to load. And this is it's literally called Custom Supports plugin that you can add into your Cura. And what you do is you'll just hop over to plugins. I already have it installed so that we can do this demo. But once this loads up here in a second, I'll show you exactly which one to go get. It can be a blessing in disguise, especially with a model like this that is got parts that are out there, they're high up, and even with a generated support, as minimal as I can take it, it still might actually fail, and that's not something that we want. So here we go, they've loaded. If you guys are curious too, you've seen the settings, how it pops up the description. That's the settings guide. It's a really good one to have out there if you're curious about learning about your settings. And let's go down here, Custom Supports. Right here is the plugin that you want. and all you got to do is hit install, restart your Cura, and you will have that button over there on the left. So it's really easy to do, really handy plug-in. But like for me, looking at this, I've got these attack spas sitting here. They don't seem like they're going to print very well. Well, bam, 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 and bam. I've now just supported them, rooted them to the build plate, so one, they shouldn't move as much. And then, you know, like right here, I see this angle right here that kind of concerns me. I can come in and I can pop in a support. And these pop off really easy. And they're really adjustable. They can be a straight cylinder, they can be a cone. You can make them as cubes. I prefer to do the cylinder. You can shrink and widen the base, which is really cool, to give more support. So if it's going higher up, you can make the base wider so you get the better build plate adhesion, and make sure that you get that going there. Or like right here just in the center, I know there's some detail, I'll pop one in there. Now with the standard supports at 80%, which is minimum support I can have, I'm going to slice this and you guys are going to see that it's going to build that auto generate support around. But I know now that those parts are actually supported because I've put it into the model, and you can see here that they're actually their own pieces. So, and they separate really well. I kind of missed on that one, but you guys get kind of the point that I'm trying to show you here is you can actually come in here and put a support in place, not having to depend on the system to auto generate one for you. You can actually place it there. You have some control, which is a wonderful thing to have in regard to this. So supporting is definitely one of the things you've got to make sure you're doing. But the other thing that goes along with support is model placement. So that is a key thing of how you put your model on the build plate is how your support's going to generate. Now, by having that support there, the wings will build on their own. I didn't have to use as much support. And I know that these points are covered. So that is a really cool thing. And there we go. That model. And you can see my raft has extended out to connect with that, which is really great. And I said I would talk about my raft settings here. So let's go down here. Right now I have it set up at 10 for the extra margin. I usually do 5. Or sometimes like 3 just to give a little bit extra hold, but a tall model like this I may expand out to 5 or 10 to help keep it on that build plate and reduce the ability of it to wobble. Raft air gap is basically being able to pull that raft off. I use a 0.4, sometimes I move that up to 0.6. That way the raft is just really easy to remove and I get it away cleanly. So that's kind of those settings, but that is for a different time when I talk about rafts and brims and skirts. We'll do another video on that here shortly so you guys can kind of understand how and when probably is a good time to use those. So let's hop over to the end of the video, and I appreciate you guys, and if you're new here, make sure you sub. Alright guys, that's supports. So hopefully you found this useful. Hopefully it'll help you do better prints in the future. Make sure you're getting your prints supported, because that's one of the things. A failed print is no fun, especially if it was because of a missing support or a failed support. That's why you want to make sure your settings are really good and strong on these supports as you're looking through. Or if it looks like a support's going to be weird or wonky or one's not generating, that custom support one can come in real handy to help solve those problems. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new and you like the content, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to catch our live streams on Tuesdays, and we have a new video out every Friday. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time.